How to build this forgotten muscle for a wider back. What's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to build your teres major muscles on your back. Now your teres major, we're not going to go too much into kind of the science and anatomy of it, but basically a lot of people are training their lats and using, optimal exercises to engage and increase kind of maximal tension of their lats. So using a lot of neutral grips, underhand grips, and kind of optimize leveraging factors to maximize targeting that area. Now what happens as a result of that is a lot of people are taking focus away from that teres major. Now your teres major functions very, very similarly to your lats and actually does increase the look in terms of width of your back, especially from the back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a bunch of exercises that are going to be primarily targeting the teres major muscle to build a wider back. That's not to say we're not working lats a little bit here, but we're working a muscle that in my opinion is massively neglected, especially as more and more people talk about optimally working their lats. Okay, so exercise one, I just want to be taking you into a basic exercise to start off with, which is a wide grip lat pull down. Now, when I talk about wide grip lat pull down, I'm not talking about a lot of the lat pull downs that people are doing at the moment, like neutral grip, underhand grip, or kind of this medium overhand grip. I'm talking about an ultra wide overhand grip. Now, what you're going to find in terms of the theme of all of the exercises that we go to target your teres major is that we're almost trying to create I call it like a snow angel kind of position. So imagine like a snow angel on the floor. We're really trying to flare those elbows out nice and wide. So whether that be with a bent elbow, like a pull down type variation, or with a straighter elbow, like a more kind of traditional snow angel type pull down variation, which I'll go into a little bit later on. They're all looking at targeting that teres major a little bit more than those lats. So first exercise, a wide grip lat pull down. So I'm going to be taking a really wide grip here, not so wide that we're kind of in an awkward position, but just slightly outside of our shoulders. I'm just going to stay in a slightly leant back position here, and I'm going to stick that position the entire time. Leading with my elbows, drawing my elbows down to my back pockets, squeezing my shoulder blades down hard at the bottom, and then all the way up to the top into that big stretch, controlling that eccentric. So all the way down, staying slightly back, and then return all the way to the top. So full range of motion. As always, guys, ideally you want that bar coming just below the chin. One of the biggest mistakes I see is almost coming too low and into that internal rotation. We don't want to be seeing those. Nice big stretch at the top, and then drive straight down. Okay, exercise two is what I call a reverse facing pull down. Now, I'm going to be honest, these are something I don't often program for my clients. I do sometimes program them, but what you tend to find with these is that people are so strong that they're not able to kind of maintain some support, because obviously with this exercise, as you're about to see in a second, we can't lock ourselves underneath kind of that knee pad, that knee rest. But they're a really great option more for kind of that high rep metabolic stress type of protocol towards the end of your workouts. So we're going to take a grip slightly wider than shoulders width, and obviously we're back facing here on our lat pull down. Shift your butt slightly forward, and your back should be resting against what would be that knee rest. So it enables us to stay slightly back. And then from there, driving our elbows down towards our back pockets. Nice full range of motion, bar below chin, all the way to the top, big stretch. And again, drive straight down. The whole time you're trying to keep that back up against that knee rest. The tendency we want to be to kind of come forwards, keep it locked in, keep it stable, and get that full range of motion. Okay, exercise number three, I call these side facing single arm pull downs. Now, side facing for obvious reasons. Again, not another one I would tend to program a lot. There are some advantages to using this over some other variations, but what I tend to find is that with this variation, there tends to always be a better option, something else to program. But look, there's something that really great to throw in. Again, just like the exercise I showed you a second ago, something where you're using kind of that higher rep range for more metabolic stress type stuff, or to kind of mix things up a little bit. All right, we're side facing on our lat pull down machine. If you can get your knee slightly under a rest, it does help. Otherwise, you might have to just be out of that rest, all right? So we're completely side facing, a grip where our palm is facing towards us, and you've got to try and stick with that grip as well. And kind of like a snow angel, you've got to drive that elbow directly out towards the side, as far down as you can. I wouldn't come all the way in here, you tend to lose a little bit of tension, but keep it out wide, get that stretch overhead, almost like an arcing pattern overhead, and then back out and wide. So big stretch overhead, and then wide towards the side. Keeping that overhand grip the entire time. Exercise number 4. I call these eagle pull downs. I've written about these quite extensively actually. There's one article on tnation.com where I covered eagle pull downs. Big fan of these. Unlike kind of the last 2 exercises that I've shared, these I do tend to program quite frequently. I like the supportive nature of using a bench. I like the angle. As I've mentioned before, you kind of get that nice kind of snow angel kind of direction going with it, with that arm path. Big fan of these. Give these a shot. Here's how to do them. I've got my cables set to their highest point in obviously like a dual pulley system. I've got my bench set anywhere between kind of 45 to 60 degrees. You're going to change the angle depending on how far away from the cables that you'll need to be, but that's kind of roughly speaking really. Chest supported up against that bench. Palms stay down the whole time, and we're getting a nice kind of snow angel position, really trying to arc our elbows out wide. It is a pull down, so we are bending at the elbows. Big stretch at the top, drive those elbows down towards our back pockets. Your chest can kind of come slightly away from the bench in that downward position if it wants to. I don't mind that. As long as we're maximizing that stretch at the top and getting that contraction, that big squeeze at the bottom. On to exercise number 5 now. I call these X cable snow angels. These are another exercise I'm a really big fan of, especially to kind of isolate your lats, as well as obviously that teres major that we're talking about today. Really easy to set up, but obviously you need to make sure you've got the type of cables, those dual cables or Kaiser cables that allow you to set these up. You can do these on your knees, kind of sat with your butt on your heels, like I'm going to show you. You can also do them standing if you do have a cable system high enough. Check these out and how to do them. So I'm kneeling on the floor with my butt set on my heels. You can use an Airx pad or a cushion on the floor if you want to. I've X'd the cables, crossed them over, so I'm holding the opposite side. Start with the elbow really flared overhead, maximizing that stretch. And as I come down, just thinking snow angel, nice wide elbows, keeping that elbow angle about the same. And then all the way up, big stretch, big contraction at the bottom. I can kind of puff my chest out a little bit at the bottom if I want to. Don't mind that position, maximize that stretch, full range of motion, arc that snow angel out wide. Exercise number 6, again, big fan of these snow angels. They're single arm. You can do these from a kneeling position like I'm going to be showing you in a second. Super easy to set up, especially if you've only got one cable accessible to you. I know what it's like this time of year. Sometimes the gym can be busy, you can only get one cable. Don't need a bench or anything like that with these either. And again, they work that arm path that we're really trying to focus on. Obviously with these, we're kind of taking out our biceps a little bit by having our elbows more extended. So you can kind of see this as a straight arm pull down to what would be like a lat pull down in a way. Give these a go. As I said, they're a really great one to have in your arsenal. So we've got a cable set to around head height. We're down kneeling on the floor with our butt on our heels. We're going to start with that cable all the way overhead, slight bend in that elbow, and we're going to arc nice and wide, almost like a snow angel, down about kind of 2/3 the way. Don't come in here, you'll lose a little bit of tension. All the way up, big stretch, snow angel all the way down. If you've got the support here, then hold it, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you might have to kind of go hand on your hip. The final exercise I'm going to share with you is probably my favorite and one that I probably program the most when it comes to people that have a teres major that's significantly underdeveloped or in comparison to their lats. So the supported snow angel puts you in a nice supported position, as obviously the name implies, which means I can kind of maximize force output through that target muscle. So we're lying on our side, we're increasing stability, and we're also maximizing load and stretch more towards the top portion of the movement, because that cable is set for that point of maximal load to be in the right position. Check this out and give it a go. You're sure to love these. So I've set my bench to around about a 45-degree angle. You can vary that a little bit depending on what feels good for you. And then I've set my cable up to its highest point. Again, you can slightly vary that depending on what's comfortable for you, or if I advise slightly differently if I'm doing your programming. So sideline position and stay sideline, both knees on the bottom there, or you can place one off if it's more comfortable. Like a snow angel, arc the elbow out wide, soft angle at the elbow, and that elbow angle stays around about the same. So we're really trying to focus on the stretch towards the top, and then keep that tension as we come all the way down as far as we can. I wouldn't come too far in, you lose it a little bit and you lose position and arm path. So nice big stretch at the top, and then kind of about 4/5 down. Tell you what, one thing you've got to watch with this one, a lot of people tend to kind of shift a little bit because it's easier to do it like that, whereas you just want to be as sideline as you possibly can the whole time. Okay, so 7 exercises we've gone through there, plenty to choose from. So the topic of today obviously was to take you through some exercises to target your teres major, which in my opinion is one of the most underdeveloped muscles when it comes to building back width, and kind of goes hand in hand with your lats. Function very, very similar, but especially with how people are manipulating exercises to target their lats a little bit more, especially at the moment and things we see in social media, then exercises to focus on that teres major are even more important. So you've got 7 exercises that you can take away with you. Give them a go. Let me know how you get along. And look, if you like videos like this, make sure you comment below. Let me know, give me some ideas about what you'd like to see next. Obviously, future videos to come that you've got to look forward to. So do make sure you subscribe. And remember that if you're after a coach, you want to take things to the next level and work with either myself or one of the other elite physique training coaches, then all you need to do is head to the link and apply. See you there.